Hey guys, I'm back again with our fourth challenge sponsored by Tammy Taylor. For this challenge, we were asked to illustrate our favorite couple's love story across 10 nail tips using Tammy Taylor's gel polishes and Sculpt. I first sculpted out a heart using warm pink, and now I'm going over with blush kisses and sea of roses and creating an ombre effect. For this technique, I take the brush and I swipe it across the heart with both colors overlapping in the middle to create the ombre effect. Make sure you wipe your brush off in between dipping it back into the bottle. For my couple, I chose to do Morticia and Gomez Addams from the Addams Family. They are the definition of being in love. I know when you think of Morticia and Gomez Addams, you think of dark and spooky and gothic. Well, these nails are that, but with a Valentine's Day twist. I started painting the shapes of their faces using a mixture of the white gel paint, Street Style, and Exo Beige. If I mess up with my lines at all, I go in with another brush dipped in the cleanser to clean them up. Now going in with the black gel paint, I start painting in the details of the hair and the face. And I'll zoom in here in a second so you can see up close how I paint the detail of Morticia's face. To keep my lines super thin, I dip it into the gel paint often and roll my brush on my palette, that way my brush stays nice and thin at the tip. It's also a good idea to flash cure in between a couple small lines so your lines stay nice and crisp and don't spread at all. I finish painting in the detail of her hair and I move on to the outline of their clothes. Why I chose this couple is because when you think of an on-screen couple, you think of always fighting and bickering and just not always seeing eye to eye, but Morticia and Gomez Addams had the kind of relationship where you just always loved each other and always got along, and they raised their kids together and they co-parented. You kept their love life, spicy. Even if they were a little weird and eccentric, that's what made their love work. I like to place the color down first, that way I have a general idea before I start putting in detail. I finished adding in my shading and fine line detail and then added a spider web to the background to keep it a little bit more spooky. Finish with a matte top coat, and here is my Morticia and Gomez and Pugsley and Wednesday Addams. Now going in with the Sculpt, I start sculpting out my bat wings. Make sure you don't use too much of the shaping liquid or it will sometimes make the product a little runny. I also sculpt out a heart. Make sure you're patting it and not really pulling it to keep its shape. I wanted to add a little bit of sparkle, so I painted my rose with the blush kisses and then dipped it into the Rose Fire Opal glitter. I also painted on some detail to my bat wings to give them a little bit more shape. It is said that they first met at a funeral, so I wanted to paint in some gravestones, so I added that to the background with a red ombre effect behind the gravestones to keep it a little bit more spooky. And here's my final piece. Voting starts February 11th, and thanks so much for watching. Bye!